Welcome to our webinar. We are going to talk today about the future of work in IT, right? What are the trends, what we are seeing, how remote collaboration is working, things like that. Let me introduce myself. My name is Raj Sarangam. I'm ORP Soft CEO and founder. And then we have Srinivas Mugilipala. He is a veteran IT entrepreneur. He's driving all our sales, marketing, everything. And his company name is Versatile IT Solution. With that introduction, let's get started. And then if you have any questions in the end, we can definitely address that at the end. So what is changing in IT world? IT is changing big time, right? As you can see, IT continues to evolve, technological advances, globalization, changing employee expectations, long-term care, long-term strategies, things like that. So if you are an IT company, or if you have IT workforce that you need to address, you need to be flexible enough to provide flexible work environment to retain the top talent. That's just the norm, right? If you look at the statistics, 74% of the firms have shifted to hybrid model. This hybrid model did not exist before COVID. Yes, I get that, but once COVID hit, everybody was remote. This is a new norm now. The expectations of the employees have increased. And also there's a shift from being in-person to hybrid model. And there's 80% of US company offer this remote work as well, right? Some sort of remote or hybrid work. So key trends, right? Let's look at key trends. What's happening in IT today? If you look at it, hybrid model is one of them. Right, it's going to office has been a standard approach in the past, but now employers are luring top talent with hybrid model or remote model, things like that. So it offers flexibility and also gives productivity. Supposing if you have in-office work, that means people have to drive. Sometimes it may take an hour to get to the work, and then they have to work 8 or 9 hours, depending upon their workload, and then they have to drive back 1 hour. And all this time, like it's adds up, right? It's almost like 12 hours in a day. Precious time has been spent either driving or working at premises, right? So it's become like work-life balance kind of a thing, right? So then also people want to spend a little bit more time with their loved ones. So hybrid work models, that's number one. Number two, it's huge since ChatGPT came out, right? So AI automation has as the buzzword, so to speak, right? Buzzword, artificial intelligence, right? What it's doing is it's automating IT tasks and decision-making process. So it's kind of there's not that much collaborative stuff that is required once this process is in place, right? That's also edge computing. This is again a big one. Edge computing is taken off. I'll talk about edge computing in a minute. But edge computing is basically processing data closer to the real-time capability, right? Reducing the latency, because you have the cloud infrastructure in the middle and things like that. We'll talk about it. We'll look at some visuals about it, right? And then virtual workplaces, right? We have heard of extended reality, which is augmented reality and virtual reality, right? It has become a part of our work culture, right? If you have any training you have to do, there's no longer humans doing it anymore, right? You have this virtual training sessions that are going on. And then cloud infrastructure. Most people have some sort of moved away from being in premises, uh, having infrastructure in premises to cloud infrastructure. Most of them have gone to this, and then it's also gives flexibility, right? You can onboard cloud infrastructure anywhere in the world, and you can scale it because these companies like AWS, Azure, they are pretty much uh, a la carte, right? If you use X, tomorrow you use Y, you just can change your contract, and that's all you have to do, and then the cloud infrastructure team takes care of everything, right? The last but not least is employee well-being. Employee well-being is also key because this is one of the key perks that you have to provide life work balance for employees so that you can retain top talent at your place. Going to the next slide here, hybrid work model, of course, it's a new norm now. But what it has done, let's look at some statistics. 33%, it has lowered the turnover, right? 33%, which is pretty good, right? Your turnover is less. That means you don't need to spend time looking for, you know, uh, new employees, train them, all that stuff, right? So you retain the employees. That's a major win. And then you have 100 million people working globally now, right? So if you have a top talent in India or Philippines or anywhere, you can just hire this because now you can onboard them quickly. They're hybrid workers. They can be onboarded and part of your team. And then there's 52% of hybrid adaptation among the employees. So there are some research that they've just done. What is the impact of productivity among the hybrid workers? And Stanford research says it's win-win because you have good productivity, performance, and retention. So there's not much effect in terms of how these employees perform, um, and there's no loss of productivity or performance, and your projects are delivered on time, things like that. So that's a win situation for everybody. Also, as more and more people adopt this remote culture, then the need for the office space also comes down, which means your cost uh, to have these person people come into the office also can be downsized. And also, it's a good perk for the employee because if you're in a very uh, crowded place like San Francisco or Boston, where real estate is very expensive, employees cannot afford, they can go to suburbs and not have to worry about having to commute back and forth, right? So this also helps retain the top talent. Then AI is everywhere. So whether we like it or not, AI is here. The sooner you adapt, the sooner you will start seeing productivity through AI adaptation, right? So 73% of companies, US companies, already use some sort of AI, right? Even if it is like using ChatGPT for your company, right? Where you can do business emails or any type of research, um, you can do quicker, faster with AI, right? And as you can see, global market was 242 billion in 2023. Now it's jumping to almost uh, 3 times in 2030. So that's where the AI is heading. There's a huge explosion of AI. So adapting AI is a wise thing to do, right? And also, if you look at automation, as you can see, processes of generative AI has grown over 400%. Like, we hear lots of words, buzzwords nowadays: generative AI, adaptive agents, things like that. So, anyway, long story short, automation is there, and we want the employers want their employees to work on the most valuable for the company, right? Not do mundane things, right? So they want to automate that so employees can do research and other innovative things that they can do. Now look at edge computing. What is the edge computing? Edge computing is processing the data near your source. That's what I mean. If you look at the right hand side, uh, there's a diagram where it shows you have a cloud infrastructure, and then you have an edge. You have a cloud layer where all the big data, warehouse data, all that is getting processed. Your edge layer where data uh, for particular things, like for example, you have your handheld device, things like that, right? That's passing closer to your device layer, right? So this is edge computing. This is what's taking off now. Edge computing is become a new norm. Um, so you have a cloud infrastructure is not going away, but you are adding one more layer, which is edge layer. So for faster data processing and giving information quicker, right? And of course, you always store this information in your cloud architecture, where you can again do a lot more data analysis, data mining, things like that, right? So yeah. So you look at it, data processing, 70% of data is created, which is up from 10%, which was in 2018, right? Data is, I mean, there's a whole lot of careers that have come out of data. AI requires a lot of data to be trained. Data scientists, data architects, data scientists are becoming new norm. Enterprise adaptation, right? 69% of CEOs worldwide have deployed this, and then AI, edge AI software. That's also growing. What is the edge AI? AI is the distributed computer paradigm where data processing happens closer to the source, right? So that is also growing. It's growing actually 4 times from 2024 to 2030. And then the market growth. Global edge computing spending has been going up, and it is um, likely to grow even more. Now let's look at what is coming, right? What is new that is coming to workflows, right? Workflows, we're getting XR collaboration. When I say XR, it is AR and VR. AR is augmented reality, and VR is virtual reality. So 91% of business have adopted or plan to adopt AR, VR technologies, right? So if you can think of AR, AR augmented this thing has one of the key thing a differentiator about AR is that um, digital information onto a real world, right? You put a digital information on the real world, and that is AR. And VR is you virtually walking um, up the path of where you want to go. Like for example, I want to give you an example. You take you go to medical, and they scan your heart, right? They scan your heart, and then they overlay with if you have any hole or any issues with your heart tissue, things like that. So that is one of the applications of AR, right? There are gaming, there are other applications. Whereas VR is you're virtually seeing what's happening. So this AR and VR spending has been increasing. Um, Now, a lot of companies are using these technologies to do training their employees, things like that. So again, adopting these technologies is wise thing to do for going forward. Now, then we come to the cloud-based infrastructure, right? Cloud adaptation has been tremendous, right? After AWS and Azure, everything has come out. About 90% of uh, uh, firms, companies use cloud infrastructure and workload migration, right? Again, before you used to have in-house servers, networking, and all that. Now it's shifted a little bit. It's gone to the cloud infrastructure. So there are a lot of opportunities where you can scale uh, quickly, and the cost can be distributed because now these are like economies of scale, so to speak, right? So you can have cloud infrastructure give you better returns on your money rather than you hosting those servers, right? Enterprise users, it's also gone up. For the end user, they don't even realize they are using cloud infrastructure, right? They get their data the way they see their data. That's how they get it. So there's a huge benefits of using cloud AI. The cloud AI market is only growing. It has nearly 6 times since 2015. It is going to exceed 1 trillion in 2028. Next, employee well-being in remote setups, right? So remote works offers benefits and also it offers some challenges as well, right? Only 36% of employees reported increased stress versus 59% in the office workers. So remote workers feel less stressed compared to office workers because of the additional time of driving in traffic and coming back in traffic, right? 93% say work from home has positively impacted their mental health, meaning they're able to relax their mind, and also able to not having to drive every day gives them additional 2 hours that they can be using that time to be with their friends and family, and also enjoy their hobbies or what you have, so which has impacted their mental health. But there's a downside to it as well. I can see the downside. 25% of fully remote employees being lonely because most people uh, um, who are remote, they have no interaction with anybody, and if they never go into the office, they feel sometimes that bonding when you meet in the office, that face-to-face meeting has a huge impact in terms of how things are being delivered, how you communicate, and you build a rapport basically when you have that. And fully be remote also has some disadvantages. 69 percentage of experienced burnout due to digital overload, right? It's too much information, too quick, and then you get burned out as well. So there are some positive things about remote work, some negative things about remote work. So depending upon type of employee that you're hiring, um, you can evaluate a hybrid model or a remote model or in-house office model based on your resource that you're hiring. And then, if you want to be successful in this new era of remote, what are the strategies that leaders have to do? One is have an outcome-based management, right? Set a clear goals, deliverables, everything, and give autonomy to your employees. Make sure that they're delivering. Clear communication. Establish clear communication. Make sure their work hours are defined. Whenever they say they're going to lunch, they're going to lunch. Whenever they say they're working, they're online. making sure they're responding, not avoiding any meetings, things like that, right? So clear communication about that. Right tools. You got to give right tools when somebody is remote. Um, like there are several virtual tools that are available, but some of them slows them down, not able to do their work properly. That can frustrate people, right? And then empathy and flexibility, right? So remote workers are, you know, at different time zones, different. So make sure that you have empathy towards those remote workers, and also give them uh, freedom to express themselves, and also measure their success. Make sure they're successful. If not, have a conversation with them. Okay, not all positive things for remote work as well, right? So, cybersecurity challenges. We are facing unprecedented amount of cybersecurity threats nowadays, right? So, if an employee is remote and they're logging into the employer's network, they're exposing vulnerability through their system to cyber security attacks to the company. So there are 630% increase in cyber attacks. 46% of businesses at least has one cyber incident. We hear every day that our passwords have been compromised by one healthcare company, another uh, retail company, things like that. So data breach is happening almost every year, and you got to protect yourself for those data breaches as well. So 20% of organizations have reported data breaches. So these common vulnerabilities have to be addressed. So make sure the home networks are secured, the personal devices and all those things are have very tight security, and provide them private network or some kind of virtual network, private virtual network, so these cyber attackers don't hack into your system. So those are some of the challenges remote work brings. Um, it's not that you cannot overcome it; you just have to address one by one, right? Cybersecurity's best practices, zero trust security. So never trust anything. Make sure you have architecture which has zero trust. Always verify. Uh, then use MFA, multiple authentication. Make sure when people log in, they have their Face ID, their biometrics, all those matches before you let them in. And then use a hard, network which is secure, right? So make sure they're encrypted, and make sure they're compliant with complex password procedures nowadays, right? And last but not least, user training. Make sure you have user training to say, hey, aware of these issues. If you're not handling them properly, then there could be a cyber attack to you and to the company. Key takeaways, right? Remote and hybrid culture is here to stay. That is given, right? This is one of the ways. This is one of the uh, uh, ways to attract talent, right? Is through hybrid or remote. Especially if nowadays with AI, whoever it's an AI guru, we need to hire them, whether they're in India or US or in Europe or in any part of Asia. You need that top talent. So once you need that top talent, so you should be open to remote or hybrid culture. So definitely competitive advantage for companies nowadays. And leverage trends, right? Use AI, edge, AR, VR, cloud innovation that's been going on, right? And people and culture matter, right? So you need to have culture, company culture, and then clearly communicate those culture to your people, and that culture has to match, right? So make sure you train the employees properly, and make sure their cyber security is top notch, right? Make sure they have zero trust principles, and they have security which are compliant with WA3, WAP3, so on and so forth. So if you do that, then you'll be able to attract a good talent and keep them as well. With that, I leave it for any questions. If you have any questions, please reach out to us at Raj at orpsoftllc.com or Srinivas at versatileitsol.com into this. With that, I thank everyone for attending this webinar, and we'll be posting this in several media, so you can follow us. Thank you so much.